Hey, what's everyone? That's going to be a review for episode 4 of Attack on Titan. Now, this episode starts out with them doing some training, and I was a little bit surprised by the first level training that they did, which included them attacking targets and things like that. And what the trainers were doing was actually examining the characters and trying to find all their good sides and bad sides. As far as, like, let's just say one of them's very, very strong, but they're not very, very smart. Or if one of them could just, slice right through any obstacle, but he has a very bad sense of direction. And there was just a whole bunch of things that they were doing when they were examining all the main characters or just the trainees as they know them. And seeing as things progress, they end up doing some hand-to-hand combat. And at a certain point, the main character was like, this is all pointless. And you end up actually getting told that, the main reason is because, well, they don't know what will happen. And, it's always good to just have good hand-to-hand combat. And there's no guarantee that they'll be in a good situation where they'll be fighting someone that they, don't want to. And it's just good to have it for backup. You can't concentrate on one thing too much without making yourself weak in another area in general. So it's really good to have that. And plus, they might actually need those skills for something along down the road. I'm pretty sure they will. They don't really waste their time as far as, what they train on. Now, as things progressed, while they're still training in hand-to-hand combat, Annie, known as the girl with like a really mad face that's always serious all the time, she was one of the girls that an episode or two back that one of the trainers, skipped when he was, I guess you could say, kind of asked them questions like, "Why are you here? And where did you come from?" and that kind of stuff. Just because he could tell by the look on her face as well as the main character's face that they have good reasons to be here, and it's not just lame stuff like, "Oh, well, we don't want to just look like another coworker" or something like that. So anyway, she was trying to sneak off, and it was funny to see, how, the trainers actually didn't even notice. And so the main character, and I believe Berthold or Rainer, ended up, going over there, trying to teach her a lesson. You shouldn't walk off, and just, I guess you could say kind of teach her how to be a real soldier. And it was a little bit funny just seeing as the main character, he ended up getting his butt whooped very badly. And it was a little bit funny to see that, but at the same time, if you would have seen the look on that girl's face, before they even got into the combat. Yeah, she looked like the kind of girl you don't want to mess around with, like, seriously. And then the other guy, went ahead and went at her, and of course he got his butt whooped too. And just seeing that, two guys on the ground like that was a little bit funny. As things progressed, a little bit later, the female, end up, explaining to him, like, how, the main reason people are training so hard is simply so that they can end up in the top 10s list, and the top 10s list get to choose where they want to serve, whether they want to be out in the front, in the action, or if they want to be way in the back near the king, I believe it is, and, just be there, in the most safe area pretty much. And just a lot of people are doing that, and, the main character was getting very upset, which I can see why, that so many people are training so hard just to run away and end up hiding in a place that they think they'll be more safe, which in a way doesn't make sense, because if you train so hard and if you're really that strong, you might as well make yourself more useful. But that's just one of those things. So, that's how, that's what happens to the top people on the top 10s list. And anyways, one thing I've heard to mention is that shortly after, those two guys end up, like, almost getting in a fight, they were about to swing fists and everything, and at least the main character got to find out that that guy has a crush on, what was her name, Mikasha, the female character, and just seeing, the jealousy and everything, and, that was a little bit funny, especially since it's said in front of everyone, and I still found it a little bit weird, like, as soon as, he started realizing something, all of a sudden, it was almost as if, like, time slowed down or stopped, and he was looking around, and, like, the room got darker all of a sudden, a suspenseful kind of theme. It changed, the coloring and everything. And seeing as, it was looking at everyone's faces, and everyone's expression on their faces changed so much. And I don't know, it was like, I don't know, it felt different, like it was a different, like, an intent or something like that, but the main character was starting to, realize, like, oh, wow, he reminds me so much of, when I was, younger, years ago before the training and everything, how much of a, just how mean I was and how angry I got and everything. And just, I don't know, like, how the theme changed in the coloring and how it was, like, suspenseful and just looking at everyone's faces and the look on their faces and everything, like, I don't know, it looked like it would have been something else, like something was about to go down bad or something else was going on or something. But that's just me. Yeah, he at least got to find out, and I find it really funny how, when the trainer, the main one, came in and everything was like, I heard some noise. You care to explain? and they end up blaming it on the potato girl. I believe her name is Sasha, and Mikasha ended up saying, she had a really big fart or something like that, and then he was like, well, you need to, self-contain or control yourself, and that was really funny. I actually did not expect that. I would have expected it to be something else, but that's just kind of funny because it's, like, she's like one of those characters that just gonna take the blow on everything and just, just take the blame or something. People are just gonna always blame her out of randomness just because it's the most obvious or the easy to believe and stuff like that, but seeing that was just really funny. And again, I just really did not expect that. As they got to the part where they were actually, they were getting ready to do their training, which I was a little bit surprised how this turned out. But, all the leaders and everything were like, the top 10 are going to be able to have the option to choose, whether you want to serve in this alliance or this one right here. And we actually didn't get to exactly see, well, maybe that was like a roundup and they were just going by their skill points or something like that. Or just what the trainers thought and everything, and they were just going to wait the next day or, hours or minutes later to see who it was ended up in the top 10. But I think I actually did end up in the top 10 because I think I saw like 5 on the left and 5 on the right, or, well, this is my left. 5 on the left, 5 on the right, and, let's just say, I wish I could have seen exactly how things would end up, maybe like a fight-to-fight combat or something rounded up, but again, it was probably rounded up by skill levels and everything like that. But I wasn't surprised to see who was in the top 10 just because, most of the characters we gotten to know throughout the episodes, it kind of makes sense for them to be the ones to go ahead. But as, this kind of didn't surprise me, but it still kind of sucks in a way, is the guy that, the main character I'm getting a fight with that was jealous of the girl and everything that I said, I'm pretty sure is the son of that guard from episode 2. He ended up not ending up in the top 10, and he was just really, really upset and everything. I can kind of see, but at the same time, it's like, better to be him than most of these other people. I know this sounds kind of mean, but, it just kind of had to happen. And maybe he'll learn or something, or give him a reason to just keep on trying, harder, because he wants to catch up with the main character and everything. Kind of like how Naruto and Sasuke always went back and forth and everything. But anyways, as everyone graduated and everything, and all the people in the top 10 were very happy and everything, and there's this one guy, I don't think he was just kind of a random character, but he ended up walking up to the main character, asking him, who he's going to be serving, and he was surprised to see that he wasn't going to be, in the most safe area possible by the king and everything. Instead, he was going to be on the front, just ready for action, the first one to take the hit, or, to try to defend everything. And he's like, why would you do that? And he's like, we're doomed, there's no point of trying to fight against the Titans. And then the room got awkwardly quiet. It really, really did, and the main character ended up going on a big lecture or rampage, just talking about, how, even if you think that, it doesn't give you a reason just to completely give up and offer yourself on a silver platter, you still gotta try. You don't know what could happen, you don't know the possibilities, and, you just gotta try, you always gotta try, because you might end up, doing better than you expected to, and it just really it doesn't make sense to completely give up, it really doesn't. And, as soon as he got done, going through the whole lecture and everything, he was like, did I just say all that? And he was just one of those moments, and he just ended up running off. Armin and Mikasha end up, talking to him about it and everything, about his big dream to destroy all the Titans and everything that he said at the lecture and everything. And they end up saying, that, we're going with you. We're not going to be sticking by the king. We're not just going to, be in the safe area. We're going to be on the front, ready for, defending and everything, with you and everything. And just seeing his friends backing him up and everything and being there for him was really, really nice, And, I just really love seeing that kind of stuff sometimes, It does make sense. And, I was really happy to see that. And plus, the Mikasha ended up saying, one of the reasons she wants to do that is so then he doesn't die an early death, but also so then, well, because, he's her last piece of family that she has, which again does kind of suck, but as things progress, the very next day, that's when everyone actually, I guess, I don't know if it was the next day or a little bit later down the line, but pretty much when everyone was in uniform, they made their choices on who they're going to be, which team they're going to be joining and everything, or armed forces and everything. And seeing as, most of the people or all the people ended up, joining with the main character and everyone. And they were, going to be at the front, ready for, any attack that happens any second. And that just, you know, that was really nice to see. And one of the guys, he got embarrassed by a girl being like, you know, he said it was my choice, and the girl was like, oh well, he thought about your lecture a lot last night after everything you said, and he got embarrassed. You could tell by his cheeks being red. But, you know, just everyone was happy. And, oh, yeah, the potato girl, yeah, she ended up joining, too. And she got a big piece of meat. And everyone's like, why are you doing that? Why'd you take that from them? You know, meat is a very delicate since all the animals are dying. And, you know, we've lost so much land. Which, yeah, especially, you know, meat, you know. But she ended up saying, you know, then we'll just retake that land and get all back the pigs and, you know, the cows and everything. And everyone was happy. And before you know it, everyone's like, hey, save me a piece. And that was really funny, you know, it was just a really good moment, you know, just seeing everyone getting along like this and everything, and, you know, just enjoying themselves and everything. And the main character end up saying, you know, this is where it all begins, or this is, you know, when the humans' counterattack begins. A split second later, right behind him, the main big titan, the one in the flesh with no skin, the red one, the big one that kicked down the walls and everything, just got zapped there. And it was just one of those moments like, oh crap. And I gotta say, the main character kind of jinxed himself. It's like, oh crap, I should have not said it started right now, because it kind of does, but seeing that, just like, that really changed the tone and everything so quickly, the mood of this episode. And seeing Aoi, you know, end up getting, you know, scared and everything, and everyone getting pushed off, and the Titan kicked down the wall, so all the smaller Titans are going to be going through very soon. That was really bad to see. But seeing as, you know, he, you know, even after getting knocked down and everything, you know, they end up climbing up the wall and everything, and they were getting ready, you know, just for an attack, and the main character, you know, he really got into it. He's like, you know, this is it, this is when it starts, we gotta start a counterattack right now, the Titan's right there, we've gotta take him down, or, you know, attack him as much as we can. And that's just how the episode ended, you know, when he, you know, was just looking him straight in the face with the just crazy look on his face, just determined look in his face, looking straight at the Titan in the face and everything, and it was just, wow. So I gotta say, that was a great way to end it, but at the same time, it was such a cliffhanger. God, I want to see the next episode so much. I want to see what happens and how things go. But as usual, probably something will come up, or someone will come in and save the day, or something will happen, or it'll disappear, and just something that, you know, we don't wouldn't really expect. But that was really good. I give this episode a 4.6 out of 5. They did a great job of, you know, getting to know a few characters and seeing, you know, what their attitudes are and everything, and certain skills and everything, and, you know, positives and as well as downfalls and stuff like that. And seeing who ended up in the top 10, seeing Potato Girl getting blamed for making a noise and everything, and, you know, everyone getting together and being happy and actually, you know, just enjoying themselves. And seeing there's going to be a lot more people in the front getting ready to fight the Titans and everything. So that's pretty much it, guys. Sorry for the very long review, but there's a lot of things to discuss. And oh yeah, one thing is that I forgot to mention, if you made it this far, then you're awesome. But one thing that's definitely worth keeping in mind is that one of the people that was at the very front, or on one of the horses, the younger one, I gotta say, I think we're gonna have to pay close attention to him, because I think he is gonna be a role in the main story. I think he is gonna be an important character in the story later. So we definitely gotta have to keep close attention to that. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and I'll make sure to make the next review at least a little bit shorter, but I just ended up yammering on, but hey, that's what I do. So anyways, guys, thanks again, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.